Hi, everybody. My name is Bijou Matthew. I'm a principal program manager inside of Microsoft. I work for CSEO. This is the organization formerly known as Microsoft IT, so we help power the Microsoft enterprise. And I guess you guys are all here because you really like passwords, right? How many of you really enjoy passwords? I'm guessing you do. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. We have one out of over 100. That's awesome. So here at Microsoft, especially in our organization, we hate passwords. The reason is because even though it provides a layer of security, it is not enough. In fact, the National Institute Standards in Technology, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST. I know, but if I say NIST, then nobody knows what I'm talking about. But they have said that changing your password is no longer viable. It isn't a good security practice. So what we're going to talk about here today is our journey to get out of using passwords, especially for our end users. It is a journey to a world of no passwords. But before I start, I have to set the stage so that people don't misinterpret what I'm saying. So we're gonna set the stage a little bit, and then at the end, we're gonna talk about a feature that we actually implemented inside of Microsoft for our general user population that we believe will help us get to the promise of no passwords. Before I start, I would ask everyone to fill out evaluations at the end because feedback is vitally important to us. It'll help us in our sessions. We're also doing another session like this tomorrow, so greatly value all your feedback. So in terms of a brief history of breaches, most of these breaches have occurred due to phishing due to getting someone's credentials or getting their password. There's quite a few here. And just like these, Microsoft is also one of the biggest or most attacked companies in the world. So we deal with this on a day-to-day basis. In terms of security worldview, go next here. Let me file through this. Yeah. Okay. In terms of the opportunities that are available to us in a cloud-based world, there's obvious opportunities in terms of scale, speed, DevOps. We want things to be more effective. We can leverage tools like machine learning and AI, which we are leveraging on premises in a hybrid way. It allows for modern engineering practices, but there are risks. So as a security professional, the risks that we face is that you've got dangerous threat actors, bigger surface area in order to worry about, and identity is the new perimeter. So your identity and your password and your user's passwords are the new gold. So this is how we think about security at Microsoft in terms of how we talk about security to our customers and how we talk about it internally to our partner teams. So we have this stool, and it is an information security stool that we are basing on data and telemetry, identity management, device health, with information protection on top based on a risk management framework. If any one of these three legs of the stool fail, we fail as a company, and we fail in terms of our security promise. As you can see the stool falling. In terms of our security strategy, we have 5 investment pillars that we leverage as an organization: risk management, identity management, device health, data and telemetry, information protection. We have 27 services that we leverage, and we have 11 main projects, or epics that we call them internally, that kind of address each of these problems. We're going to focus on identity management specifically, and all of the epics that we talk about there. Again, a few quick identity metrics. 81% of breaches involve identity theft. 73% of people reuse passwords across multiple accounts. So if they use the one password for their work account, they leverage it for their Gmail or their Hotmail account. And guess what happens? If that account gets breached, your work and your enterprise is at risk. 80% of employees use non-approved apps for work. This is also a problem at Microsoft, and there's different ways that we deal with that. In terms of the past, we had specific network boundaries, identity boundaries, basic management that you could use. The current reality is that your network is distributed. Now, if you use cloud-based solutions, endpoints are exposed, data is exposed, applications are exposed, and the identity becomes key. So leveraging two-factor authentication everywhere by default is a must. This cannot be compromised. There's certain scenarios that you have to solve for, and specifically onboarding and bootstrapping that are continually to be challenges. There are ways that we can address that, but identity is so key. Two-factor authentication is key, and protecting your administrators or your high-valued assets is also key. Our three main investment areas that we are focusing on are protecting our administrators. So we have a booth over here that talks about our IT showcase. We have a separate talk on the website, which is microsoft.com/IT showcase, which talks about how we protect the admins, and we talk about it for an hour. So I highly advise everyone going and looking at that. But we have a whole set of teams that look to protect our admins, our endpoints, the devices that they use, a separate two-factor authentication mechanism that they use, separate PKI, a separate identity stack, because we want to protect our administrators, because we know that that's what our threat adversaries want the most. We have an effort underway to eliminate passwords as much as possible, just because we know that our users do very creative things to save their passwords, post their passwords, reuse their passwords. So trying to get away from passwords altogether is a huge promise inside of Microsoft. We also have an investment area for simplifying provisioning. In terms of protecting our administrators, again, we use a device called a SAW, which is a secure access workstation. Microsoft Consulting Services sells a very similar program called a PAW, or a Privileged Access Workstation. It uses the same image, so what we use inside of Microsoft is what we sell to customers. So we use a secure device, again, with a secure identity, using non-persistent access. So this is also key. You want to lower the surface area of attack for all of your identities. We can leverage PAM on-premise, which is Privileged Access Management, or PIM in the cloud, which is Privileged Identity Manager, that is capable in Azure. And this is how we leverage and protect our administrators, both on-premise and in the cloud. So our global administrators all follow this. All our O365 administrators inside the company have now followed this model. We actually just enforced that, I think, about 1 month ago. So 100% of all our administrators at the company inside our internal Microsoft tenant follow this model today. In terms of eliminating passwords, so as Satya said, one of the biggest security issues that we have that are facing all companies is passwords. So how do we get rid of passwords altogether? If you use anything in the Microsoft or Windows ecosystem, Windows Hello for Business is the best tool that we have. It's available on all Windows 10 devices today. We have improvements that have been delivered in RS4 and will be delivered in RS5 and RS6. If you use a non-Windows device, Microsoft Authenticator is your best option, used for mobile platforms and non-Windows platforms. There's also FIDO2. FIDO2 is very exciting to us. We have a pilot program inside of Microsoft that we're leveraging and we're testing in all scenarios. There's also a booth down the way that is not too far away that I highly encourage everyone to try to attend. But all of these three options help us get to multi-factor authentication in all scenarios. So in terms of where we are today at Microsoft, we're very close to achieving an end-user promise of not changing passwords any longer. And in fact, in my last slide, I'll talk about the feature that we've lit up that we believe will help us get to the promise of never using it again. In terms of the ability to do this, I will mention that having an ecosystem, a diverse ecosystem, brings its own challenges, for sure. We have quite a bit of testing in terms of legacy operating systems, legacy server environments, but my encouragement to all of you who are listening and any of your customers would be to leverage the latest Windows Server 2016 for your environments. It helps light up a lot of these non-password scenarios and multi-factor scenarios. In fact, it also provides a lot of security benefits as well in terms of remote guard, credential guard, application guard, and whatnot. All right. So now for my last point here. Let me do a time check. All right. So there is a new feature out there that's in private preview. It is Azure Active Directory Password Protection. We have actually deployed this inside Microsoft for the Microsoft IT organization. And I should also say that we have multiple segmented networks and environments that help us achieve customer promises to governments and whatnot. What I am talking about is just our general user population. So as I mentioned before, our administrator promise is based on a separate environment, separate network. This is our general user population. So this is what we've installed. So what is Azure Active Directory Password Protection? It basically is a list of banned passwords that gets curated by our Azure Active Directory team. And they look and search the internet or the dark web for passwords that have been breached and passwords that are commonly used. And they create a list. It's roughly a static list of a rolling list of 500 or so. That is in Azure Active Directory. Since we deploy a hybrid environment, we deploy these agents on our domain controllers, and then we use a proxy server to talk to our Azure Active Directory tenant. So domain controllers are not exposed to the internet. Only the proxy server talks to our Azure Active Directory tenant. And the added benefit here is that you're able to create a custom list on premises. So if you're a coffee company, you can put passwords like coffee or espresso or anything that pertains to you or your company that you see are commonly breached. And you can prevent your users from using that password. The end user experience is similar to just any other password reset, that it doesn't meet the complexity requirements and whatnot. We're hoping that the operating system error message will get fixed in RS6 or above. But right now, this helps us achieve a security promise so that banned passwords or passwords that are breached cannot be used in any environment. So this feature is coming, I believe, in January to general GA. But I would talk to our Azure Active Directory folks down the way as well. We have a lot of identity-specific product group people here. But the interesting data point here is that we found when we turned this on in audit mode, we found that 25 to 35% of all of our people were using banned passwords. And we had all sorts of complexity going on. We had complexity, uppercase, lowercase, history going on. We had, a lot of different features that we've implemented, and none of them worked because we found that our engineers were genius because they found ways around our policies. So we will adopt the NIST standard here going forward in terms of not changing passwords on frequency, except for in a red team, blue team, red team exercise or a breach, which we constantly have red teams and blue teams inside of Microsoft attacking each other to make our defenses better. But the end user promise will be achieved so that we will never have to have people change their password at all, so that we can get to a future of no passwords in any scenario. So that's all my slides for now. I am happy to talk about any questions that people may have. We did end a little bit early, but I also would encourage everyone to come to the booth. I am here all day, so happy to answer any questions that people may have around a world of no passwords. But thank you for your time. I appreciate it.